Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
It's that time for Wise Kracks. Another week has come and gone, and I am back in the studio. And Bill Krackomberger is in the OG studio, the original Wise Kracks set.
Yeah, no, I'm back in Vegas, but I got in way too late, like 2 a.m. Went to bed like 4.
Oh wow!
And got up at 8:30, and here we are in the home studio. Didn't make it over to you over.
That's okay.
Like 5 miles away,
yeah,
7 miles away, but.
I kind of liked. I missed the old looking at the old set. I like it. Cool. Was your plane delayed or
no?
Just a long travel day.
No, I just took a late plane. Kind of slept on the plane, so it was good.
Going east to west is brutal to me. Traveling for some reason,
but
you pick up the time. Yeah,
it is. It's so different here. It's funny in the sports betting world. It's tough on you here because you have to get up so early. 6 o'clock in the morning, the lines start moving where it's like 9 back. I always will call back home,
right.
Jersey and New York. So it's that's tough on you. But then you get the whole night too, because the night's over earlier. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
I like being back here though. The weather is really fantastic this time of the year.
Yeah.
Here for the next three months is probably the best time to be in Vegas. I'll say late March. April, May, that's the best times to visit Vegas.
Yeah, we got the 90s. 90s are coming, I think. End next week or something. Yeah. Well, we have a fun show in store. Obviously, March Madness is in full swing, and we've got Mike Nuga from UNLV, a hometown guy here. Coming on the show a little bit later, so that'll be fun. And I would love to hear how everything is going back east for you so far with the tournament.
I try to put this nicely, but it was almost like New Year's Eve to me because I had my friends that were all there and back east, and we got on the sportsbook. FanDuel was very good to us. They gave me 7 seats. There's only about 60 seats up front. Then there's about 10 to 12 tables. So probably about 150 people in the sports book, packed to the rafters. Thursday, Friday, first 2 days of that tournament, you couldn't move in there. They probably had over 200 people there. So it was real nice of them because it was. I literally waited till last minute, not thinking that March Madness was so big back east. Also, it was almost like a Vegas time where everything was packed. It was fun. My friends all came down. There was literally 7 of us there the first 2 days. And like I said, shout out to the FanDuel Sportsbook and the Bally's Casino for opening up that venue and getting me in last minute. Let's face it. So I as everyone knows, I really don't spend a lot of times in the sports books. I fund my apps or certain sports books. You could bet more in person than I will here in Vegas. That South Point comes to mind. So they'll take maybe a couple thousand on the app or a dime on the app, or even sometimes no props or anything you can bet on the app, but yet in person, you could bet a lot more. So certain situations, I do go to the books, but being there for 4 days straight, it kind of took a little bit of a grind on me. It was like 10, 12 hours a day. It was pretty tough, to be honest with you. It's nothing against the fans. They were great. They're having a great time. But first day, Thursday, sitting down, first game on TV, 2 minutes into the game. There's 18 minutes left in the first half, 38 minutes left in the game. 2 minutes into the game, the entire front row screaming, jumping up, blocking the screen. I was like, this can't be. It just can't be like this the whole weekend. It really wasn't, but that first day was, you know what? And the public will kind of tell you which way to bet. They'll tell you. The people were screaming and yelling. Gonzaga, Kentucky's, the Dukes, they were just screaming and yelling all like crazy early in the game, and you could tell what way they were betting. And almost literally, the Kentucky game, they played St. Pete the first day. I was talking about it to a couple different people on the phone. the game didn't even start yet, but it was all Kentucky people in there. And I actually said probably a good bet will be to take St. Pete first half, never thinking St. Pete was going to win outright. Giant upset. That's the true Cinderella team here is St. Pete this year. And they're right out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Still a crazy rule in New Jersey. You can't bet on the game at all, any New Jersey games, and St. Peter's is New Jersey. So with the New Jersey sports books, you still cannot bet that. And that's got to be overturned. It went up for a vote again in November, and it's still that they kept it for another year. So hopefully they change that rule, though, because there are New Jersey teams throughout the year that you'd want. There's so many colleges in New Jersey, and you can't bet any games that involve them. They really need to change that. So anyway, yeah. So now you have literally a big Cinderella team, which I'll be rooting for them. I'm a true underdog guy anyway, so I'll be rooting for them. Duke and Coach K still surviving here. Baylor, Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky gone. So this is an interesting tournament. A lot of live betting opportunities. The one I could think of, I actually wrote a couple of them down, was the Duke game. Cal State Fullerton playing. They were getting 11 in the first half, and literally they were hanging in there. Just like I've actually said that on a couple shows. And the last 20 seconds, it was on 10, and it remained on 10. Duke having the ball there, Duke could have covered it. But however, the public all rooting for Duke first half, screaming and yelling for the game. That's what did it too, John. The live wagering on that Duke game was unbelievable because they were up 20 and the live line was 24.5, 25.5. And, people didn't think they were going to cover the game, laying the 18.5. And all of a sudden they literally, the public just started telling you, I mean, the entire room was like, oh my God, Duke's in this game. They can cover. They were up by 18, up by 20. They were covering the game. And literally I was taking 24.5 live, 25.5 live, 24.5 live. And, it was almost like they tell you who to bet. So I bet that like 7 times live wagering. Oh, only during commercials, John. Very, very important. I put a tweet up on Twitter about this. Wow. The delay that the public is up against is absolutely even shocked me. You're talking, if you're making a live wager, I actually showed my live line screen, which I pay $500 a month for, compared to the screen in front of us in the sports book. It was a good 15 seconds. A shot was made, a bucket went in. 15 seconds later, we've seen it in front of us. Plus, there's a 7-second delay when you go to put a bet in. So you're talking 22 seconds they have on you. Only bet during the commercials, guys. I'll just tell you right now. Yeah. It's I'm not trying to say no one's cheating or anything, but I'm a little cynical, maybe
right.
From back where I am. I'm not betting live against anybody, with the 22-second delay. I'm just not doing it.
That right there is such a factor that I don't think anybody ever thinks about when you say only bet during the commercials like that. That's a really good insight right there, because I mean, who thinks of that? I don't think anyone thinks of that.
No, they don't. They're betting their money, and they just say, "Oh, look at that." You know what the biggest thing is? When a team like Duke, who wasn't covering most of the game, now they're covering, or now they're close to covering. People say right away, "Oh, this is going to be a blowout now." They only go by the way the momentum is, the way the people are, the fan reaction. They hear it, they get excited, caught up in the moment, and they're firing the favorite. And the Bill Krackombergers of the world are firing the underdog. So
that's another thing I was going to ask you when you said, when you're in there and the public base almost tells you who to bet or which way to go. Does it influence you when you're? Do you end up? Is your approach different than when you're in there and you're watching and seeing it? And does it kind of make you bet a little extra? Even you, Bill Krackomberger.
I don't actually even really. I don't even bet live normally. Situation here that I was in the book with a lot of people and I was betting live. But yeah, that's a great opportunity for people to bet live, though, during the commercials. Just put yourself in the fans' shoes, even if you're not at a game. Just think what's going on in the sports books. go on a big book here like the Westgate or Circa. Oh boy, I tell you, there's some good to see how things weigh out. So you have to put up with a lot of people screaming and yelling and drinking, having a good time, or money is also a big factor. So you can go in there and it's a couple. Listen, it's a very small edge. It's almost like market handicapping. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to know none of the players on the teams. You don't have to know anything except for the numbers. You could keep a sharp sports book up like you know what? FanDuel is a very sharp sports book, probably the sharpest out of all the sports books that have entered the country. You can just keep a FanDuel up, or you can keep a Pinnacle Sports up and just look and just look at the live line compared to the slower moving sports books, like maybe the DraftKings sports book. I've seen a lot of good opportunities at DraftKings live. So it's just market capping. That's it.
Wow. And when you're there, I've been in the sports book with you back east during football season, and everyone's like crack. I'm assuming it's like that too during March Madness. And I didn't see this too much when I was with you, or if I did, I forgot if I did. But do guys ever come up to you and straight up ask for picks in the sports book when they see you? And does it put you in a weird position? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I would give him luckily enough, Memphis was my biggest play at the tournament in the first round. So I actually gave anyone that asked, I gave him Memphis. So, and luckily enough, they held on. But I try to tell them too, it's only one little game. It's, part of the special sauce is getting all the games.
Right.
So, it's one little game. But yeah, I did give them Memphis in the first game. And people asked me throughout the whole tournament. It was really a very fan-friendly venue, and got to meet a lot of nice people. And there was a crew of guys in front of us one day. They looked like offensive linemen, and one of them turned around and said, "Is that Bill Krackomberger back then?" He got up out of the seat. Really nice guy. Got to talk to him, and he threw his picture up on Twitter of us too. And it's nice when the fans are there, and the fans of the game, and people that may know me. I hate giving him any one play with a 2% edge. I mean, it could really swing either way, but however, I'm glad I got to give out a couple winners to some people there in person. And it was a good time. And I'm not trying to say anything bad. I just had 4 days of it. I was supposed to stay an extra week. I'm not supposed to be back in Vegas till actually 10 days from now. But I just had enough. Got on a plane and just flew back. I just literally made a last-second flight and just got out of town. Yeah.
Wow. So. Now you mentioned FanDuel a little while ago. Did you see what this one guy did at FanDuel off of $25? No. He went 15 for 15.
$25. How much did he win for that?
$103,339.41. Bill Krackomberger.
Wow. Wow.
This is right up my alley. This kind of.
Yeah.
I like this.
That's a guy that goes to the crap table and bets $1 on the 12, and he hits the 12 and parlays it, do it again, and then do it a third time. That's how hard it is to hit.
Right.
That kind of a bet.
Right.
So, yeah. They're in long term. If someone's only betting $25 there, he'll probably never give that money back. That's good for him, but that's just a shot in the dark. And they show a lot of the winning tickets like that online, and not just FanDuel. All the companies do. If they showed all the losers that went to the sports betting cemetery, they wouldn't have enough space on the planet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And betting a parlay like that when you win 103, I think your $25 parlays then escalate to at least $100 parlays, right? Because that's part of the drug, let's call it, right?
Well, good for that guy though.
Yeah. Let me tell you who
will blow back.
Let me tell you who did not hit a parlay last week. Myself. In the sports betting competition, in the best bettor competition, Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in fourth place. I think there's 5 of us. And right. I'm 8 for 30 with picks. And it's I was really close to hitting a UFC parlay though. I was 7 out of 8.
Wow.
And I didn't do an 8, just for clarity. I didn't do an 8-team parlay. I was trying to play it safe and did a 5-teamer or a 5-leg parlay for UFC in the competition. And the bet that I thought was the lock, the bet that I was most sure about, is the one that screwed me on the parlay.
7 and 8, John. Now, did you bet them all? Did you actually bet them with your own money too, or no?
No,
or just the competition.
Just the competition. Yeah, just the competition.
Okay. Yeah, because 7 and 8, you're going to make money.
Right, with two dogs in there too, two decent dogs. But yeah.
All right. Hey, is it over? Is the competition?
No, we're in the playoffs. I'm hanging on fumes here. I think I've got. If I'm in fourth, I guess I have probably the second lowest bankroll. And this Friday we have to put our picks in for Saturday's games, and we'll see if I can hang on.
Well, John, you're saying you're 8-22, but to be
8-30 now. Yeah, go.
Oh, 8 and all right. So 8. Yeah. So to be fair though, like that's one of the losses is a 7 or 18 parlay. So
right,
you're saying you have a chance to. It's not like you're betting straight bets and you're 8-30. I mean,
true.
So one of those 8-teamers, you're back right up there. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
that was kind of a jab, though, right?
No.
You're like a squirrel gets a nut type of thing.
8-teamers, you jump right back up to the top. You'd have to.
Right.
18 parlay.
Yeah. It's a big if, though, right?
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's the only way you could do it now. Now
I don't have a choice, right?
To do that.
Right. No, now I have to swing for the fences, right? Swing for the fences.
Yeah, what you actually have to do in a competition like that is see where you are monetarily and see where your opposition is monetarily, and then you actually have to bet something to get back into that league. Don't bet to get in first place because they're probably going to lose 2 on their bets. Mathematically, they're supposed to lose. So
right,
you have to bet something to. Let's say you have $20,000 bankroll, and you have to, and that's the first place. I'm sorry, let's say the first place is $20,000, right? And you have 4,000. You have to make a bet to win to get back to that 15, 16 grand. You don't have to get to 20.
Yeah.
You have to actually think that they're going to lose some. So
I think I've got a little over 500 on the bankroll, right. And I think first place is somewhere like 2,000, maybe mid twos.
Oh, that's easy.
So it's in reach, right?
No, you could literally do like a 4-teamer and you forge ahead to the first place. Yeah.
One of the producers was writing in the notes here, and it says I'm an 8-teamer and he wins it all at this point. So,
okay.
Yeah. I'm back in this thing, Bill. I can do this.
No, you definitely could with parlays. Yeah, I'm looking at the notes myself. Good.
What I should have done this whole time, I felt like it would be considered cheating. Like if I really wanted to win this thing, I would have. Well, I don't need to download it, but I'd get on the Crack Wins app because that's already on my phone. On Apple, Google Play, or crackwins.com, and I would just use your picks, and I would be in first. But I felt like that was cheating, so I didn't want to do that with this, nor did I want to ask you for picks for this, because I wanted to see, can I stack up and do this on my own? And the answer so far is no. Crack Wins is where I should be.
Yeah, we're still in the heat of March Madness here. I bet less games as the tournament goes on, though. We've actually bet a lot of women's games where we've been successful. So a lot of the women's games, I didn't think were going to be. It seems like these big favorites just were covering, and you really literally can almost blindly bet a lot of these double-digit favorites. They were blowing them out. And
on the women's side,
make it on the women's side. Yeah, so we'll continue with that. We'll have a pick or two for March Madness here. Baseball right around the corner. Look forward to that. Always had decent baseball seasons. It's a long grind, though. So, we have a 162-game season again. We're happy that baseball didn't stay on strike or whatever they were doing.
Yep.
And, it looks fun. It looks fun. We should have some good stuff here. Crackwins.com and the Crackwins app.
When you're betting on the women's games like that, and it seems to be like a pretty easy road to victory with the favorites. Do you I know you're normally like a load up on the favorites type of guy.
No, I'm an underdog guy normally, but
right.
The disparity between 1 and 16 in the women's compared to the men. Oh my God, there's so much more talent on these strong teams. They're just blowing out this is not the regular NCAA men's tournament where teams have the underdogs have fared well, especially in the early rounds and kept the games close. this is a totally different animal here. So
that's
good to know. Just for next year, even the early rounds. God, these favorites just blow them out and continue to blow them out. Even after the second half, when you think there might be, this bookmaker puts up a line to even up the game. Absolutely not. They've been covering second halves too. So I actually even learned a lot from this event.
So would my strategy for that sports betting competition maybe be do a parlay with some of these girls' favorites and just load up?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to win something. So you have to play something. So maybe throw some of the big favorites. There's not going to be a lot of them as the tournaments go on. Get deeper. The better teams kind of even up. But there could be one or two in there, John. Yeah. Okay.
And we should also, no show would be complete without mentioning WSN.com. Tons of bonuses. I think I saw you tweet about something, or maybe they tweeted about one of them. I saw like a $3,500 bonus or something, maybe yesterday.
John, I'll tell you. Yes, John, WSN.com, great bonuses. I actually looked at a lot of other sites, the bonuses that they have, nothing compared to WSN.com. So they have negotiated some really good bonuses for the people. You could just go to WSN.com and you can actually, on the left of your screen, there is different areas. You can go state by state, you can go book by book and find out what your jurisdiction has. And not only that, great articles every day. They do an unbelievable job at really scanning the globe of gaming related stories where the different jurisdictions are going to have voting on their sports betting being legal in that jurisdiction, that state. And then there's articles on, March Madness. There's articles on golf. There's articles on, there'll be some on baseball. They're updated daily. I don't know another site like this, WSN.com.
Well said. Well said. All right, Bill, well, it's that time. We've got a great guest. We have a great guest in studio today. We've got from UNLV, from the hometown team here. We've got legendary basketball. Mike Nuga is in studio. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you. Bill, I met Mike like last summer, right? Was that last summer? Yeah, over at Virgin by the pool. We were doing a location shoot for Jamie Villamore. Did you know Jamie, or you just happened to be there that day?
No, I knew Jamie.
Okay.
And kind of both. It was just randomly that we just happened to be there that day.
Yeah.
On top of knowing him, so it was so random how we met.
So random.
I'm happy we did though.
Yeah, it was cool. Now, were you with your buddy? Is he a player on the team too, or no?
No, that's just one of my brothers from Ohio. He came out to see me for the weekend.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we've got Bill Krackomberger just what are you, 2 miles away, Bill? I don't even know. How far? Where are 5 miles away? Yeah, it's weird that you're not, I like it though. It's
us three will have to go out to dinner or something one day.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah. So, Mike, your journey, we were reading about you. You're born in Nigeria, grew up in Toronto. How did you end up here? Well, first of all, how did you get into basketball?
It's been a crazy journey, actually. But yeah, I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, lived there for a little bit, and then moved to Toronto. And basketball wasn't really what I wanted to do at first. I was really a track and field legend in the city of Toronto, I would say. But
100 meter?
100 meter, 200 meter, relay, you name it, we get it done. That's just how we did it in Toronto. But I hit a weird growth spurt, and everyone was playing basketball, so it just made sense for me to hop into it too.
So the first time you touched a basketball and played, you were how old?
I was probably like 12.
That's unbelievable, right? That's like a late starter, right, Bill?
Yeah, I was a late starter.
You hear that a lot, though. You hear that a lot about guys. And, he was at the track and field. It was just a natural transition, and you could see the kind of athlete he was. That's great. That's cool.
Yeah. And so when how did you go from Kent State to here? I'm kind of surprised because you were like crushing it there. Was it a strange move for you to?
No, it was actually, I had tore my ACL in January.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was having a great year at Kent State. And so that got sidelined. And then, the UNLV's in the Mountain West, which is just a higher level. And I wanted to kind of challenge myself and see, where I could take myself. So that's exactly why I made that change to come to UNLV.
And do you like it here?
Oh, I love UNLV. It's fantastic. Las Vegas is it's like a strange place that just doesn't sleep. Doesn't sleep, and it's so bright, so much lights. But no, it's been an amazing experience, and I'm just thankful to be here.
Is it hard to stay out of trouble here?
Yeah, it's very easy to stay out of trouble. In case my mom's watching. I just focus. I'm kind of locked in on my goals, so I don't really try and let outside distractions bother me.
Bill,
that's a good question too. That's a really good question because, coming from Ohio, my father was from Ohio, and I spent at least 8 to 10 summers, the whole month of August in Ohio. Really, family, friends. It was just the greatest times I can remember being in Ohio. But Ohio was like small market, Kent State, with I think the population is like 30,000. Yeah. Coming to Las Vegas with millions of people here, sometimes that's a tough transition. And there's so many vices here, Mike. It's got to be hard now to stay out of them. Are you here now permanent? Is this going to be your home, Las Vegas, or do you plan just to stay some of the year? Or are you moving back somewhere? What do you think you're doing?
When I start my professional career, really wherever that team, wherever I'm needed is where I'll be. But I definitely want to spend my off seasons in Vegas and get a place out here to train and do things like that. Because I developed a family bond, especially with our trainers and staff out here. So I'll be in Vegas most summers, but during the year I'll be wherever I'm playing professional at.
And the parents are back in Toronto?
Yeah, parents are in Toronto.
And so, how old were you when you moved to Toronto?
I went to Toronto when I was 1, went back to Africa.
Oh, wow.
Came back when I was 14, and then went back to Africa again and came back.
Have the parents been to Vegas?
My mom was actually in Vegas a couple weeks ago for my senior night. So, yeah, that was her first time. That was her first time on this side of the country.
Really?
Yeah, it was dope. Wow. It was lit.
And that's really cool. What did she think of everything?
She was kind of just like, my mom was the tourist. She had her phone out, filming everything. It was so weird, but she had an amazing time. And just to see where I started, to see where I'm at now, I'm happy she was able to just witness that.
Seeing people in Vegas for the first time, Crack, like that when they've never been here, it's a trip, isn't it?
It is, and especially for someone's mom like that that's never been here or this side of the country, like Mike said. That must have been really cool. Now we got to get your dad here. What's your dad? Your dad doesn't want to come to Vegas, probably.
No, my dad was supposed to come too, but work had him sidelined. So we're gonna get him out here. We're gonna get him.
Cool.
What does he do back home?
My pops is a janitor for this big gym company in Toronto. So
Oh, nice. Do you follow the NCAA tournament, Mike? Do you? Now that your personal season's over, some players we talk to, they can't stand to watch it now. Others, they actually do watch it. You played 2 of the teams here still left, Michigan and UCLA. Is it tough to watch? What do you remember about those schools, or do you just just stay out of it and just go with the flow with your buddies now that the season's over?
Oh no, I'm glued to all the games that are on for the tournament. I love watching basketball. It's a bittersweet type of feeling because it's like we played them and like it's just like we should be here, but at the same time you just appreciate the game and like you see how hard they work, and it kind of motivates me, and I hope it motivates the rest of the team for next year to just see where they are and where we want to get to, and I hope that just motivates them to get to that type of stage.
Nice.
Now, what is the plan moving forward professionally?
The plan is to sign with an agency and then, train for off season and just see where I'm needed.
Yeah.
And it's really like a...
Are you talking to agents right now, or?
Yeah, I'm talking to a couple different people, and I'm just trying to get with my own team and see what makes sense, because at the end of the day, your agent that's a big choice for you to choose. So it's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that's what I would think. It's probably really stressful, right? Because it's a big life decision you're making, right? You have to trust someone to kind of be the captain of the ship for your basketball future, right?
Yeah, it's a little different because you're relying on somebody else to represent you. So just making sure that you have the right person who knows who you are as an individual to put you in situations that make sense. So it's I'm gonna make the right choice. I believe I'm gonna make the right choice. So I'm gonna be patient and stay on the course.
Will you go to if wherever your agent tells you to go when you sign with someone, you'll probably use their advice, I'm sure. You have no problem playing anywhere, though. It could be in the States. You'll even go overseas to Spain or something. You have no problem doing any of that, right? Your mom and your family is happy and proud to support you wherever you may go. Is that what I'm sensing from you?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I was already born international anyway, so going to play internationally wouldn't be a problem for me. It's just wherever got the money. wherever pays the most and makes the most sense is that's exactly where I'm going to be.
That must be exciting time, right?
Yeah, it's exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time because it's like you're supposed to be happy because like not a lot of people get to even be put in this position, but at the same time it's just like I got to make the right choice here. I got to make the right choice. So
how old are you now?
I'm 24.
Bill, I don't know about you, but when I was 24, I did not sound like Mike Nuga.
No, of course not.
It's something about athletes, right? They mature faster. I think mentally, emotionally, like they sound like 44, not 24, right?
Yeah, and he got a good education. Mike, you're graduated now, right?
Yeah, I've graduated.
UNLV?
Yeah.
Oh, you got an unbelievable education, unbelievable background, and no matter what you do, you're a success in life. That's great, and you can tell how mature you are. Living in this town is vice capital. Drinking, drugs, woman, gambling. I can go on and on. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching. Your son is past that already. He's got a good head on his shoulders and a good future. Mike, we really appreciate you having you on, man. Appreciate you going to the studio there with John.
Yep. Bill, when we're booking guests, we're always like, yeah, he said yes. It'll be a week out, and then the day before we'll confirm, and we won't hear back from the guest, and we'll be like, damn, is he coming on the show? Does he remember? Right? And we have those like panic moments as the guest showing up. I woke up this morning 8 a.m. and I got a text from this guy. I'll see you in a couple hours. I mean, it was really, really refreshing. You know?
Yeah, I try to just stay on top of my schedule. So, like just when you have a control of your life, good things that just happen to follow and just land in your lap, literally just because you have organization and a schedule and planning. So I just try to make sure that I'm always organized with my life, and hopefully success follows.
Who are some of your NBA team? I'm assuming you're a Toronto fan, right?
Forever.
Yeah. Who do you think ends up winning it all this year?
I have a very strange choice. People might look at me weird, but I still believe somehow the Lakers somehow are going to pull this off, and then I'm not taking any more LeBron James, Michael Jordan discussions after this year.
Oh, so you're a big LeBron fan.
Big LeBron fan.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Crack, I don't know if I'm hearing this right. Are you trying to tell me right now on the Wise Kracks show that LeBron is the GOAT over Jordan? Is that what you're going to try to tell me here, Mike?
Mike Nuga, you can quote him on that. LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time.
Bill?
Listen, LeBron James is a great player when he wants to be on the court, when he's a team player. I think Michael Jordan would have a little bit of say in this, but yeah, no, cool, man. That's good. I love underdogs. So they're a big underdog. They've been ripped apart in the media, by the way. So they're a big underdog here, and to hear someone actually say they have a chance or give them a shot to come back here, it's kind of refreshing. Good.
Why do you think they've struggled?
I think it's just the combination of Westbrook and LeBron. I don't think it meshed well in the beginning. Over the last couple games, I feel like they're finding ways to make it work, but it's just Westbrook, the fact that he just doesn't have that outside perimeter threat. I think that's what makes it hard because LeBron plays well with shooters, and Westbrook's not a shooter, but he's also a very ball-dominant player. So I think they just need to figure out how to work together, and I think they're getting it.
It's interesting how you can, just because you put a bunch of superstars together on the same team, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to win. You still have to mesh well, right?
Yeah.
Chemistry is a real thing, right?
100%. And I think that's why the Golden State Warriors are so well, because it's just a bunch of players who it looks like they're just excited to, number one, even be around each other. And everyone knows their role, and the chemistry is just so good. And that's why teams with less stars may be doing better than teams with a bunch of stars, is just because that chemistry on the court it's powerful.
Yeah. Bill,
Mike, I have one last
go ahead.
Question. So, Mike, do you stay away from the gambling in Vegas? Do you kind of stay away from the casinos, or once in a while you partake in a slot machine or a video poker game or something like that?
I don't even know how gambling works.
So, keep it that way, Mike. Keep it that way.
The answer I was looking for that answer. So do you think, like in the locker rooms, not only UNLV but across the country, do you think the teams and the players know that they're a big underdog tonight and what the spread is, or it's not really even talked about?
And teams I've been on, it's not really ever been talked about. It's kind of
awesome.
Most of the players I've met don't really even know how, the terms and how things work. So we just play basketball, and we hear from some fans in our DMs that be pissed.
Sure.
But
sure.
It's funny, but
do you get a lot of hate in the DMs? Do you get a lot of hate?
Oh yeah. We get a lot of random messages from fake accounts, angry about a point something.
Yeah.
But
and do you respond?
People are they're hiding. You shouldn't respond. People are hiding under anonymity. They have, like he said, they're fake names. They're telephone tough guys. So you do the right thing by not responding. I block and move. I have about 38,000 followers, and literally block and move because they're telephone tough guys. No one has the balls to say anything to my face, but they want to say things behind the safety of their keyboard. So you're doing that. Just ignore them for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Have you had any of NBA players DM you or anything, or give you some respect, or no?
I know a couple players that are in NBA that are just from my city. So when I talk to them, it's always love. But
yeah,
cool. I don't want any handouts. I want to make my own way.
Nice. Well, Mike, thank you so much for coming in today. I know we've talked about it now for a little while, and it was great to see you again and coming in on the show. And Bill, another week has come and gone. And let's do this again next week.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, Mike. Thanks for coming in studio. Let's all get together one time, all right? We go out to eat every night.